are being trained up to a standard. Some of them haven't reached that standard in combats, but they are coming up to it soon.
After 2.5 years, you have one unit out of 115 battalions that is fully combat ready. That's not great,
We're
is
talking
it?
2.5 years of different stages in the political process. The Iraqi army is coming up. You look at first, the operation was only by the multinational forces, but now it's joint forces, and eventually it will be Iraqi forces only.
Okay, gentlemen in the fourth row there. You've had your hand up for a while.
Greg.
You, sir.
I just have a simple question. Both of you who are speaking for the motion have said that somebody else will replace these troops. If the UN has been targeted already, the Red Cross, the Red Crescent, journalists, humanitarians, what makes you think that, you know, a multinational force from France and Spain and Brazil or something like that won't get targeted as well?
Actually, what I think is necessary is an Arab and Muslim force.
Absolutely.
The only one that will work. The only one that will work. It has to come in under the mandate of the United Nations. And yes, it may be targeted. But the point is that it will be viewed with more legitimacy. When I'm being asked to listen to the Iraqi people, unfortunately or fortunately, my brother and I happen to be pollsters, and we've polled in Iraq. And the simple answer is that for the last 3 years, we were getting the same consistent answer. 80% see it as an occupation, and almost 2/3 want us out now. That is the bottom line, and therefore someone else has to provide the security because we've become the target, and others who have less at stake and who are needed more in this region. You need America to be respected.
Okay,
it is losing credibility by its behavior.
Let's let the questioner come back here.
But is that to say that an Egyptian and Syrian and Iranian force
I do not think Syrian and Iranian, but there are other countries that have less at stake.
Reg Keys, you want to come in?
I think the crux of the issue here is that whoever comes in to assist with Iraq's regeneration, they have to be invited.
By who? Who are these people?
The legitimate Iraqi government.
A legitimate Iraqi government.
How are you going to make that? What is this
it's
gentleman
being
doing
done
over
while
there?
we speak. There is a democratic government being elected. I agree with that. The point is that they are not well served right now by the United States and the UK being there. That's the unfortunate reality.
Okay,
it hurts me to say it, but it's true.
Let's move on. Gentleman in the third row.
My question is for Mr. Zogby, I think. Or,
no, he's
Bayati.
on that. He's on
Mr.
that
Bayati.
side.
Mr. Bayati. If he's talking about security, what's your definition of security? Thanks.
The definition of security that ordinary people...
Implying that you don't have any at the moment.
You are invited to Baghdad anytime you want, Tim.
I'll pass for the moment. Thank you.
What I like to see in security is what I have seen here in this country. It's a beautiful country, it's a young country, that you can go to schools, you can send your kids to school without being blown up. There is two different issues here. We are talking about ordinary people who goes to the street, and we are talking about soldiers and armies. There is two different issues here. And it is very clear when I talk about security, what we need. That security cannot be reached without finishing off all the terrorist activities that is taking place on one hand. On the other hand, we have to have a successful political process that will give Iraq its full freedom and its full democracy. That's what security is all about.
But again, you're talking about the U.S. being there, or the coalition forces. The problem is that when they're going to get out of the country, I mean, there wasn't a plan in the beginning.
Again, I say what I have said before. This is up to the constitutional government that's going to take place and to look at the situation and review it.
What have the interim government have done so far?
Can I tell you, Resolution 1546 states clearly that is up to the interim government. If they see fit, if they ask the multinational force to leave, they will leave. And it's up to the constitutional government that is coming now. If they see fit to ask the multinational forces to leave, they will ask them.
You believe they will? You believe they will leave if they're asked, do you?
Definitely, absolutely. We have no doubt about that.
No.
Because the Iraqi people, if the constitutional, which are coming in from the Iraqi people, If they ask the multinational forces, they'll leave. There's no doubt about that. But I can confirm to you and to everybody, nobody likes to be occupied.
It's also up to us. And let me say that for a moment, because I have nephews who've served in the military in Iraq. What's happened to them shouldn't have happened to them as young kids. What's happening to our values as a country, and we have something to say about it, not just you, which is why there is a movement in America to call into question this whole thing, how we got into it and how we get out of it. We have kids who joined, 3 weeks later find themselves as prison guards. Never should have happened. No supervision, no adult supervision, and the thing went into a mess. We have lost our moral standing, and our kids are being demoralized, and it's hurting my country.
Let's just have a reminder of the motion before the House, which is that this House believes that foreign forces should leave Iraq immediately. That's what we're discussing here tonight. Lady in the third row, you have a question.
My question is for Mr. Tanter. You said that if the American troops left Iraq,